Keep watching for lots of knitting and crochet on Yarn Lane. You don't need to change channels. Pop the kettle on and meet us back here in a couple of minutes. You can also watch on the Yarn Lane YouTube channel and Facebook Live. To get a sneaky peek of the products featured on the show and shop, please go to the Yarn Lane website at www.yarnlane.com or via our UK call centre on 0800 4 700 600. And remember, if you've already shopped with Sewing Street today, you won't pay any more postage and packaging for shopping with Yarn Lane because it's 1p&p across both channels all day.
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there!
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters, so you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com. Missed the live show? Don't worry, we recorded it for you. Never miss out on your favourite presenters, guests and makes ever again. Head on over to our YouTube pages to watch back the day's live show and enjoy your favourite demos over and over again. We also have lots of great content exclusive to our YouTube pages, such as product demonstrations, troubleshooting videos, and so much more. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a show or video ever again.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
Hi, I'm Sam from Adventures in Crafting. I'm a craft and crochet teacher based in Tring in Hertfordshire. Since lockdown, I've moved all of my classes onto Zoom, so I now have customers from all over the country. I teach lots of crafts, but crochet is my specialism. I became passionate about crochet when I was pregnant with my fourth child and in desperate need of some me time. Crochet became my sanctuary and I've crocheted every day since then. I'm a qualified teacher, and 8 years ago I began teaching crochet. I love sharing my passion with other people. I design patterns, sell kits and teach lots of classes. My classes range from beginners to next steps, specific makes and clubs. I also like to design crochet alongs. My most recent one was my autumn granny square crochet along, which resulted in me designing this allotment jumper. which I love to wear when I'm out gardening and looking after my chickens. My crochet tip for you is to enjoy it. Crochet should be about taking part in a hobby that brings you pleasure. My claim to fame is that I met Kirsty Alsop at the Handmade Fair and I gave her one of my crochet sunflower brooches. I'm so excited to be taking part in Yarn Lane and I hope you'll enjoy my demonstrations.
Good afternoon and welcome to Yarn Lane. We are the only shopping channel in the UK totally dedicated to all things yarn, whether it be knitting or crochet or animal making or what did I do the other day? Some tatting, looming, all sorts of things. Anyway, today we are going to do crochet tapestry. I know. What I'm going to do though before I start is I'm going to take you to the website to show you how you can get in touch and also how you can see what we've got for sale today. So you need to go to www.yarnlane.com. And then I'll appear like that. You click on watch the show live. There we go. Oh, it's bigger. It's big on that one, isn't it? Then you scroll down the page. Now, at the moment, there's only one column, pre-order. But as soon as we start introducing items, there will be two columns. One that says pre-order, one that says show deals. So you just pop to the... Right, I'll start at the bottom there. So look, we've got the really lovely dandelion kit there. Moving up, we've got the chicken. We've got that lovely flower. Hannah loves the flower. Hannah's favourite's the flower one. We've then got the bumblebees, which is very, very popular. And the sheep, which is my favourite. That's in the #1 slot at the moment. And there's the lovely fox detail there as well, that one there. So I've got all the kits here available for you to start buying these. So where would you like me to start, Hannah? Sheep, first of all. Now, yours will arrive in one of these calico bags. And inside you do get all the colours that you need. So let me get them all out to start with. Right, you do not get a crochet hook. Oh, there's something going wrong with my telly again. You do not get a crochet hook. You need your own. And Sam will tell you what sizes you need as we go along. But anyway, look. Oh, hang on, there's more. Righty-ho. So, hang on, yeah, there's 2 buttons in this one. Are they for the back? She's nodding. You can split. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So there's enough to do the back as well.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So this is the sheep one. I need to put my gloves on. You get the instructions. Then you get your double knit, 100% premium acrylic in grey. But it's more of a mild grey, that one, isn't it? Then you get the lovely green, Prince, I thought it said Princess. Price-wise double knitting in parsley. You get the white. You get now, and these haven't got labels on, so I can't, is that the same?
A bit more of the parsley.
A bit more of the parsley, and then little bits of black, teal, and yellow in that one as well. And even your buttons for the back of the cushion. And there's that cushion, isn't it cute? That's my favourite, that one, the sheep. So that's that one. It's $19.99 for the instructions and all the yarn you need. And remember, it does the back. It does the back of the cushion as well. Okay. Next, bees next. Bumblebee bees, there they are over there. So, in this one, for your $19.99, oh, that's a nice colour. You get mustard, you get white. Oh, that's a lovely colour as well, isn't it? Denim, you get 3 denims, and then you get a bit of black and some buttons. I think that's it in there. All of that, and your instructions in there. And that makes this one with the bees flying sideways. Cute, isn't it? So those 2 are the most popular so far, but who knows what could happen over the next hour. Chicken. This one was Emma's favourite. Oh, this one's got some lovely colours in it as well. So in this one you get your white. You get your... Oh, that's a big ball there. Of the ferret. Oh... That's a weird name, isn't it? Ferret. Then you get your parsley again in that one. And then in there you get some orange, some red, some black, 2 wooden buttons and your instructions. And that will make... Oh, that one. The chicken. Now, what's that got stitched on it there? What's it got, like little sequins on it?
No, it's just little dots.
Oh,
It's
well,
my
that's
speckledy
cute,
hen.
isn't
I've got a
it?
speckledy hen at home, you see.
Speckledy hen. Oh, yes, you've got. I forget you've got hens. Because did you know you have to keep them in till a certain date in case they get poorly?
They're allowed out now.
They're allowed out now.
Yeah.
Though. Right, next one. Flower next. This is Hannah's favourite. In this one, you do get... Oh, that's a lovely blue, isn't it? Now, you see, I think my older brother had a jumper in that colour when we were little. French navy. You get the yellow. Oh, she's called yellow, that one. And white. Well, that's all you get in that one. And your buttons. Is there any other colours in there?
No, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hannah, you only get the 3 colours in yours. That makes that one look... That's going to look so lovely on Hannah's futon. Futon. Righty-ho. I've got 2 left. Dandelion now. You see, I like this one better in real life than I did from the picture this morning. So in this one, you get yellow again. The thing is, the colours you use, you could tie all these in, couldn't you? The white. Is that parsley again? No, leaf. That one's leaf. And that one is platinum. Plus your buttons, plus your instructions. And that will make... That's so cute, isn't it, that one? Beautiful, $19.99. Then I've got one left, Fox. Which is this one here. In the Fox, you do get silver. Couple of balls of silver. Silver Fox. You get rust. And white and black in there and all your instructions. And that will make that one. Now, before we get on with the actual crocheting, I've got other things here that you might want to buy. Bobbins, your yarn bobbins, because you're going to need these because your chain... Look how that television's going all...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this is yarn bobbin because you have all lots of different colours. Oh, they're not wooden. No, they're plastic ones in different colours. Oh, crikey, you get a lot in there. Oh, no, I haven't got it. Isn't that funny? I haven't got a yellow one in mine. They're random colours. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in there. They're yarn bobbins. You will need these, I think, in the small. They're all £1.49, those. Oh, they'll sell out. Please be careful if you want those. So that's your yarn bobbins. Then I've also got a counter, knitting, stitch count. Do I call it a stitch counter?
Yeah.
This one's called the knitting counter, but we're not doing knitting. Oh, the stitch counter here. Do you just click on it?
Yeah, you just click it. I've got one that's open.
Oh, okay. We'll have a look at yours in a second then. So is it like those people in a shopping mall and they're clicking how many people are in and
like
out?
That's
and
probably what they're
everything?
using.
Yeah, $9.99 from Clover. I've also got these crochet hooks. Now, what size crochet hook do I need? Does it matter what size
You
I
need a
use?
4.5 and a 4.
Oh, so in that case, you've got to buy this then.
May as well get the lovely set.
Yeah.
That's what I use.
$26.99. So you need the 4. Did you say 4 and 4.5?
4 and the 4.5.
The blue and the purple. And you get the lovely ring pull with that as well. But look, isn't that lovely how they all come? That'd make a magnificent gift, wouldn't it? Not guest, not guest. Wouldn't speak very much if it was a guest. Make it. Here's my new guest. Right, okay. And do I need these then to sew things together?
Yes, yeah.
These are your wool needles with your loops on the end here. If you've not got any of these, woo. $1.99. You see, add these to your order because you don't pay any more P&P. It's not like those channels where you buy something else and suddenly your shopping, your post and packaging goes up. None of that here. And if you've already bought something from Sewing Street, then that's your P&P paid for the day. Right, that's everything I've got. Let me introduce you to Sam Sabido, who you all know. But unless you're a new customer,
Hello.
This is Sam Sabido. What's your company called?
Adventures in Crafting.
And what do you specialise in?
Teaching crochet. So I do classes online and things like that.
So are the classes back yet? Have you
we have just gone back face to face with some of them.
Oh.
Yeah. So still on Zoom, but also some
And
are
how's
face to
that?
face.
How's
It's
that
brilliant.
for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so lovely.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously with COVID secure measures in place.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, it's really
And where
good.
in the country are you if people want
I'm
to
in
come?
Hertfordshire in Tring.
And so if
most
people want
of
to come
my-
and do lessons,
yeah,
that's the place to
exactly.
find
Yeah,
you.
but also I do it all on Zoom at the moment.
And also you've got social media, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, Facebook, Instagram, and a website of my own. Yeah,
And it's all called?
It's all called Adventures in Crafting. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Right, so now we love these. We absolutely love all these. Have you got a favourite?
Yeah.
Chicken,
Chicken, of course.
chicken. Because now, how many chickens have you got?
I've got 3.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Oh no, because there's a certain point, isn't there, when you're not allowed to let them out before because you came in saying.
Yes, there's over the sort of winter and early spring there, because of avian flu, you had to put measures in place to keep them covered and away from wild birds.
And then there's a date when they're allowed
and
to
there
come out.
was, yeah, I think it was March.
Yeah, but when you mentioned that, I imagined you opening the gates and there'd be hundreds of them all running.
No, just 3.
And are they allowed to run around the garden?
Sometimes. When I first got them, I let them free range around the garden, and then they ate everything. So and they dig it all up as well to make dust baths. So
it's a romantic thing, isn't it? Well, I'm going to have chickens, but so have they got a nice long run?
They've got a nice big run, yeah. So yeah, I mean they're absolutely lovely. They're such good company. I highly recommend chicken keeping.
Oh really? Do they not smell?
No, not if you clean them out regularly. I mean, occasionally, my kids will say they do occasionally, but yeah.
That's because you make them clean them out, I presume.
Yeah, no.
Okay, then, so what are you going to show? First of all, what's it called? What's the
Tapestry Crochet. So it's a technique where you work in rows of double crochets, bringing in colours.
Right.
Like when you're following a cross-stitch chart or something to make your image.
Okay. So you're just going to take us through the technique.
I'm going to focus on the technique today. It's the same technique for all of them.
Right.
So it's just about really teaching everybody the technique, so when they get their kit, they know where they're going with it.
Perfect. Right, lovely.
Okay.
So I imagine the fewer colours you've got, the easier it is.
Yes, yeah, and the bigger the block of colour.
Yes.
So, for example, the sheep. For a lot of the sheep, you're working back and forward in lengths of white.
Yes.
So that's a simpler one. The flower's actually probably quite simple compared to the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all fairly straightforward.
Oh, no, I'm not saying...
But, yeah, absolutely, that's it. The bigger the blocks of colour, the more you're working. So the bees are a bit fiddly, but I'm going to demonstrate that today.
Yeah.
So
and the dandelion, which I adore, you're going to be going across, you're going to be doing leaves, stalks, flowers,
exactly.
and
And there's this, points here where you're going yellow, grey, yellow, grey. So I think that is a bit more of a challenging one.
But that's good.
So that's why I really want to focus on the technique, because it's one of those techniques that seems really tricky, and sometimes people have tried it and found it tricky. But actually, if you kind of follow a few golden rules, then it's much easier than it seems.
So what do we do? How do we start?
Okay, so you're going to start with your background colour. So first of all, in your kits, you get your pattern, where I've gone through all the techniques.
Hang on, there we go, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, now, are all the backs stripy then?
All the backs are stripy to maximise the use of the yarn that you've got in the kit.
Right,
so you've got 250 grams of yarn, around about 5 50-gram balls, but some of them are sort of wound in half and things, depending on what colours there are.
So there's enough yarn in there to make the front and the back, and you've supplied the buttons, so you don't need anything apart from a cushion pad.
All you need is your crochet hooks and a cushion pad. So, so first have a look at the pattern. There's loads of instructions there on how to follow the technique, and then you get this grid to have a look at. And it's this grid, like with a cross-stitch chart, that you follow to show where you change colours. So I'm going to explain all of that to you today.
Okay, because the cross-stitch you'd start in the middle.
Yes.
You don't do that,
No, this is working back and forth from this point here in rows. So you're going to follow from 0 up to 65 and back again.
Does it make any difference?
It will be reversed, but that's okay, because I'll talk through how you follow that.
Fine.
Okay.
Shut up, John.
No, that's fine. John. All really good questions that people will be thinking. So before you start, because you are bringing in all these colours and things, it can pull quite tight.
Right.
So I have suggested going up a hook size for the front of your cushion.
Right.
So for the bit where you've got the image that you're putting on it, I would suggest using, if you've got standard, regular-ish tension, use a 4.5 hook. So we're working with double knit yarn. So most people would use a 4mm hook for that. Now, if you normally find actually my tension is quite tight, so I normally tend to go up to a 4.5 with a double knit, go up again to a 5.
Oh, okay.
So
all the more reason to buy that kit.
I would always recommend having a kit of a whole set of hooks, because you never know when you might want to change them. And in fact, one of my lovely friends who made the samples, as once again my friends all helped out, made the dandelion one, and she had to go down on the back to 3.5 mil.
Okay, what's her name then?
Debs.
Debs.
Thank you, Debs.
So they've all been made by different people?
2 of them by me and the other 4 by friends again.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll give them all a shout out if we go through the
lovely
kits
friends.
later.
Okay, so go up half a hook size from what you normally use for double knit yarn. So the average would be a 4.5, but if you make an adjustment half a hook size higher. When you do the back, you'll go back down to your 4 or whatever you normally use, and that you'll notice if you try to do it all in the same hook size, you'll notice that the front turns out smaller than the back.
Okay.
So you do get that tightness to the front. So you're going to start, it's rows of doves, and what I've done is I've blown up part of the bee.
Is that in the pattern?
So this is part of this pattern.
Oh, okay, okay. So you get the big one and the small one in.
No, this is just me demonstrating today. This is the pattern you get.
Okay,
so
perfect,
this one, which has got 65 by 65 in terms of number of stitches.
I see. You've just done this for
and
us
I've
to
just
see.
taken one bee out of it to show you, to demonstrate today. So one of the main challenges from doing tapestry crochet is working backwards and forwards in rows of double crochet. So all of the patterns start with a certain number of rows in the background colour.
Right.
So I'm just going to talk you through, I thought it might be quite a good opportunity to go back to the beginning and talk through making rows of double crochet just to start with before you bring the colours in. So I'm going to go right back to the beginning of making a slip knot on the hook, and I'm going to make a chain of 20 because there are 19 stitches in this demonstration bee here. You'll make more, it's in the pattern because you're working a bigger scale. So I'm making one that's going to come out just little just to show you.
Right. So how many would you cut?
They're doing 65.
Okay.
When you buy the kit, it's 65. Right. Okay, so you start with your slip knot on your hook. So tail in the palm of your hand, loop the yarn over, put your hook through from the front, pull through a part of that yarn that's over the back of your hand and pull it up tight. And then just pull the ball end, but you want to keep it quite loose. So with the front of your tapestry cushion, try to focus on keeping it maybe even a bit looser than you normally would. Then you're going to get into position. So there's loads of ways of doing it. This is just how I do it. Bring the hook over your little finger, so the yarn comes over your little finger and up and under. So you're wrapped around your little finger. Drape it over your next finger, and then twist your hand so the thumb that's pointing up is now pointing down. So I've just done a twist like so. And then push back on this piece of working yarn here with your middle finger or your first finger, whichever feels more comfortable. And there'll probably be an instinctive feeling about that. For me, it's my middle finger. And then grab the tail with your thumb and your other finger. So you've got, I call this ready to go. You're ready to go, in position.
Take your position.
So, yes, exactly, in position. Okay, so, I mean, this is just one way of holding it, but I find it a good starting point. So loads of different ways. And then you're going to start making a chain, and you want to keep these loops fairly loose on your hook. So people who are new to crochet quite often pull it all really tight, and that can make it quite tricky. So grab that yarn, come through that loop, that's one. So your hook goes under the yarn, half a twist to catch onto the yarn. With your hand that's holding the hook, pull it through the loop, 2, and just keep repeating that. And I'm going to keep going until I've got 20.
Okay.
So,
Olive said, I thought this was going to be very difficult, but you very clear instructions. Thank you very much indeed.
That's nice.
Susan says, afternoon, John and Sam.
Hello.
I don't understand Claire's. I'll come back to that one later, Claire.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
You're not using your stitch counter.
I'm not at this point, but that's a good reminder, I will do. So this is just the foundation chain.
Right.
So make sure you've got the right number. So there's a bit of counting involved in this. So I'm starting with 20. I'm actually going to check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
How do you count it then?
So I'm counting these little, let me just get another hook to point to it, because this is, I was just talking to Rebecca about counting. Recognising what your chains and your stitches look like is so much an essential part of crocheting. You kind of get to a point where it clicks into place, but when you're learning, it's one of the biggest challenges. So it's these, we call them V's, but if you think of them as sideways V's, you've got a strand there and a strand underneath.
Yeah.
That's one chain.
Oh, okay. So it's like a plait. It almost looks like a plait, doesn't it?
Yeah, or a chain link.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc.
Right, okay.
So if you don't have the right number, when you come to follow the chart, everything gets out of sync.
Of course.
So just make sure you have,
Yeah.
just a double check. Okay, so with double crochets, you skip the first chain and you start working into the second chain along. So I'm skipping this first chain here and I'm starting to work into that second chain along. So where I've got a chain of 20, I'm going to end up with 19 stitches.
Right.
Just put your,
Why did you miss the first one?
just to give you a bit of height, otherwise it'd pull it in really tightly at the end and you'd struggle to find the stitch. So that one you skip kind of pulls up the edge there, makes a bit of height for you.
Okay.
So put your hook, I just go underneath the top loop. It's another thing where there's loads of different ways of doing it, but I'd make it easy for myself. So just go underneath that top loop there, grab onto the yarn with your hook, pull it back through that loop, gives you 2 loops on your hook. And then for a double crochet, you grab that yarn again and come through those 2. So that's just, that little knotty thing there is one double crochet.
Right, okay.
So it looks like a knotty thing from the side, and then if you twist it over, it has a V on the top.
Right.
And that is the top of your stitch. So you're going to work along, making 1 into every single chain along.
So every top part of a V,
Exactly.
you take and put it through.
Every top loop. And do keep it loose. So you might notice sometimes I make a concerted effort to pull my hand that's holding the hook up, just to loosen those loops a bit. Whoops. So I'm just going to work along, just bear with me. I'm going to work along until I've done all of them. Because working in rows of double crochet is one of the challenging things when you're learning to crochet, because they're such tiny stitches. Counting them and getting your rows straight can be quite tricky.
Okay.
So
is this the only stitch we're going to do then?
only stitch we're going to do.
Oh, okay.
So you're working back and forth in these rows of double crochet, and if you miss one at the beginning or the end, or anywhere along, you can lose count. So I thought it's worth going over.
No, definitely.
Again. So you get your little row like so.
Right.
And that is row 1. So you can see, hopefully you can see quite clearly these little V's here.
You can see it more clearly now on that one than you could on the...
Definitely. So these are the tops of the stitches. So we're looking at it from the front at the moment. Now, moment to use my stitch counter. Okay.
Looks like it looks like you're going to drop a little mint or a Sweetex or something at the bottom of it.
Right, now on the chart, I have just worked, because I'm right-handed, from this point here along 19 stitches to here.
Yeah.
So I have written, I should have written even there. On your charts it said odd here, and then you've got your count, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Right.
And even, it should say even there, it does on your charts that you get in your kit.
Right.
Is the second row. So the even numbers, you're coming back along like so.
Right.
So I've written the 5, 10, 15. So that's because you're turning it, you're going to have a front side and a back side of your cushion cover.
Will it look different on each side?
It
then?
will, yeah. So I'll talk through a bit more of that in a minute.
I think this is what Claire was talking about. She said,
Okay.
if you can do this with both hands, right hand and left hand, it comes out as smooth.
Lovely.
We ignore that for now. Then.
No, well, that sounds brilliant. That's very talented.
What's the name of your website? I love where I can learn to crochet. I love it so much. I knit, but I want to crochet. I get confused when reading books. Need someone to explain it slowly, step by step. Jenny in Rainy Dorset.
It's adventuresincrafting.co.uk.
There you go. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Right.
And it is one of those things that it is easier when you're shown.
Yeah, no, completely. Because sitting here, like when we first, before we started this, and Rebecca Reed was giving us patterns, and I was like, oh no, but having you there, I can now recognise things that you're saying, and I know not what you're going to do next, but I recognise when you say, well, it's this or it's that, then I kind of recognise it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
It really
so what
does.
are you using your stitch counter for
So
now,
I've
then?
just finished my first row, which is this one here.
Yeah.
I'm going to click the stitch marker, she says, oh, hang on, to show that I've done 1 row. Magic, John. That you wouldn't believe how quickly you lose track, honestly.
Okay, no,
So-
I've got a confession to make. When I drive in the morning, I count the magpies.
Do you?
Yeah. And I always get to about Ulster, I think, oh, was that 9 or 10? I always do it every day.
You
I
need one.
No, not while I'm driving. I can't
Well,
be
that's
clicking
true.
it while I'm
Yeah.
driving.
But does
yeah.
it mean something then, the number that you see?
Yeah.
My nan used to have a thing about magpies
You
as
see,
well.
yeah, it's
Do you
old folk, you see.
salute
Yeah, I
them?
think morning captain,
Yeah. Okay, so
this is to keep track of the rows. Now, another way of doing it is get a highlighter and just highlight along.
Right.
So you do need to know what row number you're on.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly easy to lose track.
Our clicking machine is red, not pink, just so you know. I'll just show you quickly on here. I can hold there. It's red, not pink. That's just Sam's old one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Exactly.
so you've done row 1.
I've done row 1. Okay, so there's 4 rows of this where you're working just in the main colour.
Okay.
So just to give you the, just again, going back to that thing of working back and forth in rows of double crochet, when you get to the end of your first row and you've got your lovely row of double crochets, chain 1 in the air, and that gives that bit of height we talked about. Turn it over.
Right.
And then you're looking at it from the back. So you can't see those V's anymore.
No.
You can see little holes. I'm just trying to make sure you can see those. So I always like to use another hook. A little hole here. And when I twist it, that hole takes me underneath 2 strands, and those 2 strands are the top of the stitch.
Right.
They're the V we talk about for the stitch. So with double crochets, you're going to look for that very first stitch there. If I pull it, you can see it even more exaggerated. Never be afraid to pull your work, okay? So from that, into that hole there, making sure as I go into it, I'm going underneath 2 strands of the V.
Right.
So I've got my chain 1 there, which I'm ignoring. That's just giving me height. Very first V, under there, pull the yarn back through, gives you 2 loops, yarn over through the 2.
So you know when you're going through the V going the first row?
Yes.
Are you going under 2 bits?
No, I just, some people do, and that's, you know, that's great as well, but I tend to go under 1.
So you go 1 that way when they're V's, and under 2 when you come back through the
So from
holes.
now on, we're going under 2 every time, because with that first one where it was a chain, that's the foundation chain, so you treat that a bit differently.
Okay, so it's the same from now on.
Exactly. From now on, it's the same. We're always going to go into those underneath the 2. So from now on, the only reason we did that to start with is because it was a foundation chain. Okay. So just when I get to the end of this row, I'll start the colours, but just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
So you're going all the way along. Now, as you get to the end of your row, you can miss the last one. So you might look at that and think, I've got just 1 stitch left to go, but you haven't, you've got 2.
Right.
So I'm going to go into that one there, oops, underneath both strands. And then there's one here, and it gets pulled down a bit at the end there.
Right.
And make sure you go underneath both strands like that.
Okay. And if you miss that one out, you're not going to have enough stitches.
Exactly, and that's the most common place to miss them.
Okay.
So if you were to miss one, if you find that you've got 18 on this row and not 19, and I would recommend counting to make sure, if you find you're missing one, the most likely place is the beginning or the end.
Yeah.
So just look out for that. So then have a little count. Dare I count?
Yeah, go on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Phew. So you should have 19 here. Okay, now this was an even row. This was my second row. Click. Okay, now skipping ahead, let's imagine I've done 4 rows of that. And I've just got one here to show you that I started.
Okay.
So it's half a bumblebee there. So I just want to show you the fact you have a front and a back.
Right.
Because you've got this lovely image on the front, and then on the back you've carried all the yarn.
Lovely image,
yeah. So there's 2 ways when you're working tapestry crochet. You can either carry all the yarn along with you, and you work underneath it when you do the stitches, and that gives you a front and a back that look the same, but it's quite tricky because the yarn can show through. So instead of getting a nice blue, straight sort of blue look to the background, you can get glimpses of the other colour showing through. Because this is a cushion cover, and it's got an inside and an outside, I'm going to show you how to carry the yarn behind it so that you're not working around it.
Okay.
And that makes the front of it look, I think, look cleaner. But both ways are fine, but that's the way I'm going to show you. So the thing to bear in mind is because we've got to the end of an even row, we're actually here on the picture. So the thing to remember is we're now going to work the third row, but I'm going to say row 5 because
so
I'm
we're
going to pretend I've got up to here.
Rows,
And you're going to work back along here, and on the odd row, you're looking at the front of it. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute.
Right.
So have a look at your diagram. This is the odd row. So I'm coming back from this end. Now this is where if you're left-handed, you might be following a different pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th stitch is going to need to be white.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make 10 stitches in the blue, but what you do with tapestry crochet is you change colour the stitch before you need it.
Right.
That is a golden rule, okay?
Right.
So you're going to do 10 stitches in the blue,
Yeah.
but when you get to number 10, you'll finish it in the white, ready to work the white. So I will show you what I mean.
Right, okay.
So
you definitely do 9 in blue to start with.
exactly.
Yeah.
So chain 1, always chain 1 at the beginning of the row,
Yeah.
turn it. Let's do our 9 blues. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is the sheep still in the lead, Hannah? Oh, bees are in the lead. Bees are in the lead now.
7, 8, 9. Okay, so
Right,
now as I
now.
work the 10th one,
Right.
get the white ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the V again, pull the blue back through as if I'm starting my double crochet.
Right.
I've got 2 loops on the hook.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull through a loop of the white. So I'm going to finish this double crochet in white.
Right.
So I'm not going to finish it in the blue. I'm going to finish it off with a loop of white. And because I'm working an even row, so I'm looking at the front of it now, I can keep all of these tails on the back.
Right.
Okay, so pull through the white,
Yeah.
and you can see you've now got a loop of white on your hook, but you finished the 10th stitch in blue.
Right.
So that's ready to go now to work in white, but you've got a V that's blue. So you've got 10 blue stitches and your 11th one ready to go. So then you carry that along.
So you haven't cut the blue one off? The blue one's
I
still
haven't,
attached?
no, don't,
right?
yeah, don't cut it off,
anything
it's still
now.
attached.
Right, okay.
So then I'm going to do 1, and because I've only got 2 of the whites,
Yeah.
as I get onto the second white, I need to finish it with the blue.
Oh, okay. So you don't
Okay.
do the same, you don't do half a white and half a blue at this one. You
So
just,
for this one, I've done my second white stitch.
yeah.
But instead of finishing it in white, I have to finish it in the blue. So it'll be
Right.
2 whites, but
Yeah.
it'll be ready to go with the blue.
Okay.
So
So as long as you've got, you've got 2 stitches, as long as you've got 2 white stitches, and then you go on to the blue.
exactly. So what I'm doing behind here is I'm carrying this blue yarn.
Right.
So just put your finger on it so it doesn't pull tight. You don't want that to pull tight.
No.
And then just pull the blue through those 2 white loops.
Okay. And then you're ready to go with
And then
blue
you're ready
again
to go
now.
with blue, but you've got 2 white V's
Yeah.
there. Okay. And then you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blues. Set myself up here, haven't I?
Okay, so why is the first square... do we ignore the big squares then? Because you've got 5, 5, 5, and then a 4.
Yeah, just because of the way the stitch count goes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I
Oh,
have
yeah, but you're
got-
doing on yours. On ours, we're doing, how many did you say? 65? or
Yes,
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that you can see I've started off, I did have 7 there, thank goodness. And you can see I've started off bringing in the colour. So these little 2 white V's here represent these 2 white squares here.
Yeah.
Don't forget the stitch marker,
Oh, yeah,
note
of course.
counter.
That's
3
the bit I'd
rows
forget.
done.
That's the one I'd forget to do.
Yeah, it's easily done, and actually double crochet rows are quite difficult to count, so you can count them obviously,
Right,
but
before you turn round and go back,
Yeah.
I just need to do a recap.
Okay.
Hannah, shall I do a recap now? Bees, very quickly. Don't do anything. Don't
Okay,
do, just
yeah.
need to get, because if people who just tuned in think we've only got bees, you see. Starting off with the bees, right? The back of the cushion. Hang on, yeah. I'll do it here. Oh, right, so that's your front. Oh, it depends which way they go. If you're left-handed, they'll be going that way. Will they? Right, that's your front. That's your back of your. That's the back of your cushion there. They're all stripy. They're all stripy on the back. That's your front. That's your back. So that's the bee. I'm not going to get all the yarns out, but you get the blue, the white, the gold, and the black in there. So that's B. That's the B one. Where are we going to next? Sheep. That's on your side. So the sheep on the front looks like this. Emma's got it. There you go. Oh, no, there you go. And the back. Lovely. You get the buttons in the kit, 19.99. You get everything you need apart from a cushion pad and a crochet hook, right? So that was sheep. Next, flower. Oh, that's me again. I should have just brought it down, shouldn't I? This is Hannah's favourite. Oh, I love the back of this one. So that's the front. That's the back of this one. It's lovely, isn't it? So that's the flower one there. They're all 19.99, aren't they? So you don't need to worry about the price. They're all 19.99. Next, that's you, Dandelion.
We've got the front and the back, stripy.
You won't need me soon. You've got it all on your own soon. Dandelion, lots of people in baskets on Dandelion. Lots we got, but bring your basket. Next, fox. That's this one. Oh. That's the front. What size do they finish at? What size?
About 35 by 35 centimetres.
What's that in old money?
About just over a foot.
Okay.
Just over 12
Oh,
inches.
yeah.
Probably about 14 inches, actually. I remember from buying the cushions.
Okay.
14 inches
There you
by
go.
14
And the back of that
inches.
one's lovely. Look, the back of that one's in the ginger and the grey. You've missed out chicken. Chicken next. My favourite's the sheep. Yours is the favourite.
Mine's a chicken,
isn't it?
yeah.
There you go.
So
That's the front. And that's the back. Beautiful. Right. Sorry, I just needed to do a recap because lots of
that's
people were
great.
wondering
Yeah,
if we've only
that's
got
it.
the bumblebee one. Right. So then we've turned it round now.
Yeah, so we're now doing an even row. So we're doing row 6 on the pattern.
Uh-huh.
So you're working back along and you're remembering that you're working on the back of it now. So the odd rows are the front and the even rows are the back. So chain 1, turn it over,
Turn it round.
and you can see you're on the back because
Yeah.
you've got all these ends here.
No mistake in that.
No. So then you're doing, now you've got 6 and then you bring in your white.
Right. But
So-
did you do the same on this one as you did before? Did you do the white, the one
Exactly.
before on 5?
So white will be brought in on the 6th
Oh,
one,
on the
ready
6th
to work
one,
the
yeah, sorry, on the
7th.
6th
Sorry,
one,
yeah,
yeah.
7th is in the white.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, and now you get to a stage where you actually can just use the look of the grid to follow instead of counting. So at this stage, I've got to start 1 white before the white below.
yeah.
So it depends how you
Oh,
you
no,
like
I'd
to
rather
look
count.
at things. So, yeah. So on the 6th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as I work the 6th one, I'm going to bring the white in, ready to do these 4 in white. But because I'm on the back of it now, I need to make sure the ends stay on the back.
Right.
So I'm going to carry this yarn. So the blue I'm done with, you don't leave it on the front, you move it to,
Oh, yeah.
I say the back, obviously you're looking at the back. So,
Yeah.
But so you're moving it, whilst there's 2 blue loops on your hook, before you pull through the new colour, move that to the back like so.
Yeah.
And then you need to get your white ready to pull through. And again, because you're just pulling it up, make sure it's nice and not too tight on the back here. So I
Right.
like to just put my finger on it and then just pull it through. And then you continue working. So 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one in the white.
It's half white and half blue.
Halfway, exactly. And again, before you bring the blue back in, pull that white over to this side.
Now, do you do this working on a table like you are here, or can you do it on your knee?
I would suggest for the first few rows, while you're getting used to the technique, do it at a table. But you can do it on your knees. I did it on my knees.
Well, no,
but-
because to me that... Oh, do you know what you need? You need one of our William Morris trays. We
Oh,
sell these trays that
yeah.
they've got like a cushion on the
underneath
back.
it.
And then
That
it's a tray
sounds
on top. And
good.
you could do that, be still sitting at your knee.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. And also, what we haven't discussed yet, let me just pull through this colour so I don't confuse people. So you've got your 2 whites on there, you've pulled your white end over, so all the ends are on the back.
Yeah.
Now you need the blue again.
Yeah.
So you're
That's
going...
quite a big jump, isn't it?
It
Jumping over
is,
4
yeah,
stitches now.
exactly. And so just put your finger on it and pull that through. And then you can always, if it feels a bit loose anyway, you can always do that. Okay, and then continuing in the blue.
Okay, can I ask a quick question? If you're doing the sheep,
Yes.
you don't do a yarn through for like 20 stitches, do you, on that one?
So with the sheep, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either...
Sorry,
let me
I
just
just
bring, no,
think
you're
if
quite
you've got a
right.
big gap, your thread's going to be that long. in
Yeah,
the back, isn't it?
exactly. So you can carry it all the way along, or I would suggest working with 2 lots of the green.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it'll be the green that you're carrying along because you'll have put down the green. This is confusing. Here.
Yeah.
And picked it up here.
Yes.
So what I would do, and if you've got the background colour, you've got 2 balls of that.
Yeah.
Or
you can
use the
these,
bobbins.
Can't you? Little bobbins.
Yeah. So you see also you've got the little yellow flowers on the sheep.
Yeah.
So what you could do for those is wind a bit onto the yellow bobbin.
Yes.
You'll fasten that off. You wouldn't carry that along, but
No.
then you don't. What can happen is you've got all these balls of wool, and if you're like me, you like to do it on the sofa. You've got them all sort of trailing around, getting tangled. So where the bobbins help is you haven't got such big heavy balls of wool.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've put I've put them onto little bobbins, and then it's much easier to keep it all looking neat.
Right.
And not getting in a big tangle behind your work.
Yeah.
And you just pick them up when you want them. So you've got them all sort of nicely wound up for now. And then, next time you want the yellow, it's there waiting for you.
These bobbins come in all different shapes, don't they? I've
They're
seen
brilliant.
fishes,
Yeah,
I've got little
yeah.
pegs here,
Exactly.
you've got little Ben.
Yes. So just anything that, that keeps a little bit of yarn. So when I was doing the chicken, there were, for example, doing his little legs. I actually had 2 lots of orange on the go, just tiny amounts on the bobbin. So
you had 2 bobbins of orange?
Exactly.
Right.
So you do your green, instead of having to carry that orange from there to there,
Yeah.
I had 2 little bobbins with orange on, so I just picked up the orange when I needed it.
Also, you might see the orange, if you take orange across all those, behind all those, it might peek, would it peek through those
Well,
holes?
I think with this technique it doesn't tend to. I'll have to show you the inside of one of them in a minute.
Okay,
But,
that's very brave of you.
But it's, if you were trying to work around it, it does peek through, which is why, because it's a cushion that can have an inside and an outside,
Yeah.
I decided not to carry it along, because you can work around all those ends, but then it will peep through.
Yeah, sorry, I'd completely...
No, that's fine. So it's just really a matter of getting into the swing of following the chart. So I'm coming along.
Finishing off the blue.
Finishing off the blue. Right, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make this go ahead because I'm actually on, row.
Oh, no, you clicked it too many times.
I did, 6. Okay, so that was row, let me see, 6. We were working along the back, so it's an even row, so it was on the back. And you can see what the back's looking like now.
Yeah.
So I'm now going to start row 7, which is an odd row, obviously.
Yeah.
So for an odd row, remember, in terms of following the pattern, you're starting from this side for an odd row.
Yeah.
So 7 is going to be along to here. And then, so you've got 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches in the blue. And then you bring your, on stitch 9, you bring a white in. So you change colour on number 8.
Yeah. So you chain one in the air.
Chain one in the air, turn it. Don't be put off. This is much simpler than it sounds. It's just got these few golden rules.
I'm understanding it.
Oh, good.
It's just I just wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known to do the white on the one before when you change colour. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So, as long as you're aware of what row you're on, whether you're reading it from the right-hand side or the left-hand side, and remembering to bring that colour in. And the other thing is just remembering to move your yarn across to the back or the front accordingly. So these ones are staying on the back because I'm looking at the right side of it now, looking at the front. So that was number 8. So let's bring in the white. And then I start working. So I've got 5 in the white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I work the 5th, bring that blue across. So you can see how you end up with these lengths of yarn across the back.
Yeah.
And then just to double check you've got the right number, you should have 6 here. So just always be aware. But you start to get to a stage where you can, as I said before, use the shape of the picture to help you.
Chicken and bees are in the lead now. The sheep has been demoted
to my chicken.
3rd place, the sheep.
Okay, so that just gives you the idea of how you've got the wing building up there.
I love it. I love how it builds.
I love it too. It's just such a lot of fun. Once you've got the hang of it, as long as you follow those rules, which are really clearly laid out in my pattern, then before you know it, it's a bit like colouring by numbers or something. It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
You see this picture kind of
does it
emerging.
get a bit addictive? Because you
Yes.
just think, oh, I'm really tired to go to bed. Oh, just do one more
Yes,
row. Or just get to his
definitely.
eye.
Oh, I'm
or
nearly
something.
at the bit where I change colour
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So with that in mind, let's move on to this one that I had nearly finished here. Because it's so lovely when you see the shape coming out. Okay, so this one, I'm on the second row, looking at the front of it. I'm on the second row here of having a block of 3 at the back. So 11, 12, 13. So I'm on an odd row and I'm working on the front. So, and I've got my bobbins behind me. Look, so here I've got 3 colours on the go. Okay, so this is where it can get a little bit tangly. So that's where the bobbins are really useful.
Yeah, bobbins.
Okay. So
£1.49 box on. Oh, yeah, see, that one's a yellow one on the top there. So you will get random colours. Unless Rebecca Reed's had the yellow one out of this one.
So I'm on, right, I'm going to...
Yeah, there's no mints coming out of there, are they? They're not Tic Tacs, they're schmints, aren't they, that come out of those?
Right, that was row 13, just to help me remember. Okay, so now, here you go, working on the back. I'm on row 14.
Yeah.
So I know that's an even row, so I'm on the back of it. So I'm following along from here.
Did you chain one in the air then?
I chained one in the air, yeah, and I'm doing 1, 2, I've got 3, 4 to go before I change colour.
Right.
So into that last blue one, pull the yarn back through. Now I'm now working on the back, it's an even row, so make sure before you change colour, you bring that blue over. And then get the black and pull through. So I've got 3, I'm on this bit, 1, 2, 3 blacks to go.
Sue says, what a lovely clear demonstration.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Okay, so 1, 2. So this is where it's just worth seeing when you've got more than your 2 colours.
Yeah.
This is my third one in the black, so I now want this yellow. So I'm now going to pull through a bit of the yellow. Let's just get some ready. And then I'm going to have to do 2 in the yellow. So this is, I mean, you know, with the bee, you really quickly get to know how it looks. So you can really quickly just use the way it looks to guide you. So I'm on the yellow stripe now. So pull through the yellow and do 2 in the yellow. And of course the 2 in the yellow are above 2 yellows from the row below. Change back to the black, sorry. White would be strange.
Don't confuse even more now.
Yeah. Pull that through. 2 in the black. 1, 2. So just be careful. Actually, this is a good point to show you. As you are working, sometimes the little stitch before a colour change can get pulled quite small.
Right.
So just look out for that stitch. So that black one there was quite small, but just remember that it is there. So if you lose track in your pattern, it could be that's the point that you've lost track in. So I'm putting the yellow along.
Put your finger on it.
Put my finger on it. 2, make sure my black's out the way. I'm here now, I'm on to 2 in the yellow. 1. So I'm doing it now without really looking at the pattern because I'm using the shape of the stripes, but a bit dangerous. But
yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if one bead's a little bit
well,
wonky.
this is
Yeah,
true.
it's your cushion.
2 in the black.
My dyeing teacher at college always used to say, if somebody wanted it perfect, they'd buy one that was done by a machine.
I
Do you know what
really think that's true. Yeah, I completely agree with that because quite often when I'm working with people, they really get worried that they've not got it right.
Yeah.
You know, and oh, there's a stitch missing there or something's not quite right then. Exactly.
No, exactly.
You'd go for something factory made if you want it perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole beauty of handmade is that everything's unique.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So I'm here. So I finish with 1 yellow.
Right.
And then I'm changing back to... Hang on, no, sorry, no.
Oh, no.
2 yellows.
Get it right.
Get it right.
Oh, unless you want to make it
hang on, I'm on 14, must remember.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 yellows. Whoops.
There's more to this crochet than meets the eye.
There's a
isn't
lot
there?
of counting. Okay, and then move
How
that
do you cope
over.
with 4 kids and husband and chickens and all the noise that must be around you? You're able to kind of turn it off when you're doing your crochet?
Yeah, that's what the crochet is, my saviour. That's what I need the crochet for, to keep me sane with all of that going on.
Oh.
Okay, so now I'm ready to bring the blue in. So you can see I've just untangled all my bobbins.
Yeah.
hold the blue across like so. So it has gone quite far across.
Oh, yes, yes, you have, yeah.
Yeah, so just make sure it doesn't pull too tight. Put your thumb on it and pull that
Yeah,
through.
you can never do this if you were making a top or something like that, could you? Because you're inside with like an outfit.
You would need to, if it was something that, yeah, you would snag on things, wouldn't it?
They'd all catch all the time, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so then you can do it where you just work around the arm.
Right.
So instead of pulling it across like that,
Oh, when
you would,
it's
every time
inside
you make
all
a
the stitches.
stitch, the yarn is getting encompassed into all the
Yeah,
stitches. But then it does peek through, but it still looks nice.
Yeah.
And the other thing just to point out whilst I'm doing this is when I know from teaching this, that when people start to do it themselves, they're sometimes a bit surprised that the edges are not completely straight.
Oh, yeah, that's
So-
not straight, that, Sam.
So the reason I'm saying that is because I know it can cause concern when people are doing it for the first time. So you get these, because you're going back and forth in rows, you get the odd bit of colour.
Yeah, but you're going to get that when you
like with
what's
something that,
pixelated,
yeah,
tessellated,
anything where
yeah.
you're following a grid really, whether it's sewing or crochet, you do get that effect, but it can be a bit surprising because you don't notice it in things that other people have made.
No, exactly.
So a number of times people have messaged me, mine's got wavy edges, but actually it does have a very slight way, like a pixelation almost there.
Yeah, totally.
So you can see I'm coming to the end of my B now. I've
Right.
just finished row 14. So I've only got 2 more rows of the colour left to do. So don't worry at this point if you are getting in a bit of a tangle at the back, because you can see that you're almost at the point where you can cut them off.
Yeah. Oh, I see, yes, 'cause once you finish,
once
do
you've
cut them
finished
off,
your
yeah.
yellow and your black, you don't need to worry about it
Okay.
anymore. So
Do you weave them in afterwards?
yes, yeah. So you'll weave all your ends in afterwards, and then you'll sew it all in, and all you'll be left with is these bits carrying along. It does look
yeah.
neater than it sounds.
Yeah.
Shall I open one?
Yes, please, because we're about to run out of time. And we
Okay.
also need to shout out who's made each one as
Oh
well, just to be
yes,
fair.
yeah. Okay, well our chicken, which was me. Okay,
Oh, so we
that's
can
why
show
I'm
the
going
inside
for
of
this
this,
one,
'cause
so I
you did
don't
this,
embarrass
yeah.
anybody. Okay,
Chicken.
so just to make a note as well about the back, I've done it kind of in an envelope style. So you've got 2 rectangles
Oh, hang on, we'll just come down to that. There you go.
that you work in your stripe.
Yeah.
And you've got a buttonhole, which I talk through in the pattern, which is a chain and skipping some stitches. So we've done that before and we've done things.
There are less than 20 chickens left now. So let's see the inside then.
And then the inside. So actually with this one, I've only, what I've done is I've done what I said before, where I had 2 greens either side.
Yeah. So you've
So
only
I've
had to
carried
carry
the green across
that bit,
here
yeah.
and down here. But as
Yeah.
I said, with the legs, I had my 2 little bits of orange.
Oh, so you don't have any coming across when you've got your 2 orange
And
bits
because,
on the
yeah,
top.
exactly. And because I've got my greens at either end of it,
Yeah.
I've just picked up the green, put it down and picked it up when I got back to it.
Yeah.
So I haven't carried it all the way across.
No,
So
no,
you
'cause
can do.
they'd be quite long strips.
Exactly. And if you want to put it in the washing machine or something, they
Yeah.
might get a bit tangly. But you can do, you know, it's fine. And then you just hand wash it. But yeah, the only place I really carried it was up here.
Perfect.
So you have got your 2 balls of green to be able to do that.
Okay, so who made the sheep?
So Lindsay made the sheep.
Who made the dandelion?
Dandelion was my friend Debs.
Debs made the dandelion.
Claire made the daisy.
Yeah.
And Sam made the fox.
Oh.
Thank you, ladies.
Sam Fox. Sam Fox. I didn't know
her,
she did
but-
crochet. Sam Fox. How are you doing? How's your pop career? No, you can't be on page 3 anymore. Right. Okay, so that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very
you're
much.
welcome.
How do you want me to recap this? Right, we'll do them very quickly. Bumblebee then. I won't open the bags. I'll just get Emma to show you a picture. Bumblebees. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hannah's had some very sad news. They're axing Holby City.
Oh!
But that means Kush has only just joined them. Oh, we'll be out of a job again. Right, 1999. That's the B one. That's the bit. Hannah's beside herself with
Oh,
upset.
no.
Right, next. Chicken. No, chicken. Emma, picture of chicken. She's really sad. I was like that when Going Live went, but there you go. Right, chicken. Oh, we're frozen on our screen, so we can't see what you're seeing now. That's the chicken one there. I wonder what's happened. It's completely... I'm still holding the last bag on my telly. Right, next. Sheep. Oh, suddenly come up. My telly is way behind. It's just showing the chicken now. Oh, there you go. 1999. Here's the sheep. I love that sheep. What's he got in his mouth?
Little flower.
Aww. That's the sheep. Then we've got the dandelion. Oh, it's creeping up on the dandelion's creeping up on everything else now. Here's the picture of the dandelion. I don't know why I'm holding a bag because you can't see in it or anything, but there's the dandelion. Then flowers. So where's your favourite then, Hannah, in the pecking order? Oh. She's heartbroken about Holby. She doesn't care about a flower cushion anymore. No offence, Sam. Right, here's the flower. Adventures in Crafting. Daisy, this one's called. Daisy. It's what my PE teachers used to call me at school, but that's another story. 1999. They wouldn't be allowed to do it today. Right, and then Fox. This is what Hannah's known as in her village, the Foxy Lady. I nearly said the house number then. I won't say the house number. Yeah. 1999, there's your Fox. Gorgeous. When are you in next then, Sam?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
3 weeks' time. I know it's 3 weeks' time, just don't know the date.
Okay, 3 weeks' time.
3 weeks' time.
It's bound to be me because I'm in
It's a
most
Wednesday,
days.
yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
in.
Thank
Now, the
you.
next Yarn Lane is, what day of the week is it today? Friday with Wendy. And who's on with her and Wendy? With Wendy? Delphine doing felting. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Lovely. Okay, thank you very much for your company today. Make sure you check out your baskets. Make sure you buy your little fish. No, not little fish. Little bobbins and your clicky machine. Doesn't have any mints in it, though. There's your bobbins, £1.49. And there's your mint machine with no mint. You can't put mints in it or anything either, can you know? £9.99, all sweeteners. You don't have sugar anyway, do you, Hannah? Sweet enough already, she is. Right, I'm off now for 2 days, I think. Yeah, I'll see you on Saturday morning on Sewing Street. Thank you very much for your company. We'll see you very soon.